Hey guys, it's Richard with the Hunter-Gatherer Society. I am still at home today. It's getting close to 2:30 in the afternoon. I had good intentions of hitting a trail and doing some foraging, which I'm still optimistic that I'm going to get to do yet today. However, I've been just kind of doing some errands and getting ready for company today. So good opportunity to work on the patio garden, and I wanted to give you just a quick update on it. And first, a shout out to a new friend. I took a run over to Fort Myers this morning and checked out the Echo Global Farms, which was absolutely fabulous. I still need to do the tour. However, I went to their nursery, picked up a couple new additions for the patio garden. So shout out to a new friend. I really enjoyed talking with today, and I hope you like the video. So let me show you the new patio garden and what we've added to it. All right, so this is the outside patio garden. We have added cucumbers. You can see I've got one of them flowering already, and those are doing really well. Same planter, but some of them look a little thin. They're all still growing, and then the back ones look real good. So I don't know if the front ones got a little bit too much sun or what's going on. The lemon tree has flowered. It's absolutely beautiful when it flowers, and it smells amazing. The whole patio area just lit right up. And I'm not an expert on lemon trees, sorry about that, but I think I've got some little lemons started on there. You can see I sprinkled some goosefoot around the lemon tree. Goosefoot or wild spinach will add nitrogen right to the soil. It's a natural nitrogen producer, and so I've added that in there. It's also, of course, very edible. And that is one of the original longan trees. He's doing very, very well. That spinach seems to be taunting him, seeing if which one can grow. I'm sorry, not spinach, but lettuce. Seeing which one can grow taller. So, mini eggplants. You can see in here. There's an eggplant growing. We've harvested probably 8 or 9 of those already. The old eggplant is just about ready to get pulled. And I've repotted the other moringas. This is kind of the stunted one, but he's still got new growth. Looks very, very healthy. That one there just got put into a large pot. Looks very good. And that is the Jamaican plum tree, which has new growth on the top. I also put goosefoot around him as well. So again, producing nitrogen. And this pot in the shade, that wild spinach is going wild. And you can see it's a pretty little plant. There's also a dinosaur kale back there coming up, and I've got, you can see goosefoot around this guy as well, along with some purple basil. There's a couple little cucumbers in there. These are a couple bush tomatoes down there. I don't know if they're going to do anything, but we'll see. There's another eggplant over there, and these are the original mustard greens. Now, I've harvested these 7 or 8 times. The leaves have gotten just massive. I just cut it back, and you can see there's new growth coming up again. So they're doing really, really well. This is the big moringa. He flowered, and he's got some green, but he's not doing a whole lot right now. I'm hoping once the heat comes out that he'll fill out a little bit more. These are the peas that were in here. I ate quite a few of them. However, I've got quite a few just kind of hanging here. And one of today or this week's project is to pull all the pea pods off of that, and I'll use that for seed. So our token tomato plant, which actually is flowering, so we just cannot grow tomatoes. And this one seems to be doing well. He likes his spot. He's all alone, and he's flowering. And then I've got a couple little moringas that are coming up over here. I'm just kind of leaving them alone and seeing what they do. So let's head on up to the upstairs patio. All right, guys, we're on the upstairs patio now. You can see the favorite little happy hour spot. So we managed to maintain plenty of room. You can actually get another chair in here. You can see there's space back here, space over here. I just got done cleaning it up a little bit, and my longan bonsai tree is looking a little thin right now. So these are the original basil and original mint. So there's regular basil, purple basil, mint. These are dinosaur kale that are just coming up. So it's a little cooler now. You know, today's in the 70s, nights are down in the 60s, so it seemed like a good opportunity to grow some kale. As mentioned, the peas Because of the cooler weather, I've got peas coming up. And these are new additions today. So these are, this is Katuk. And Katuk is a perennial bush. All the leaves are edible and is incredibly nutritious. So just K-U-T-U-K, I believe it is. And just do a little bit of research and you'll see it is very, very nutritious. 49% protein, super high in potassium, vitamin C, more minerals than spinach. So just a super healthy little tree. And you can propagate that just by taking cuttings. Same with this one. This is actually Chinese spinach. So this is also a perennial. This one will spread out, kind of crawl along the ground. What I'm going to hope to do is move it, once the peas are done, move it up against the rail and hopefully train it to climb up along that rail. But the leaves are all edible. You can eat them in, raw in salads. You can saute them like spinach, add them to smoothies. Same with the Katuk. And so I'm really excited to get that going. A couple more of the original 4 mustard plants, and they are still producing. They were just cut, so they're still producing. A couple of the original moringa trees. These are small trees. I keep these well pruned. Sorry for the light there. The sun hasn't hit this patio yet. But there's peas all along here, as you can see, and they're starting to climb. Collard greens continue to be probably our favorite green. They're super easy to grow. You can grow them in thick nests like this. And they just produce a ton of greens. There's the original tall moringa. He is still alive and doing well. We've got peppers. These are Italian peppers. These are one of the few that don't have edible leaves that we're growing, but we're kind of excited. We've got 3 big peppers, another 4 coming, and then this is, let's see, these are Mad Hatter peppers, that's right. And there's probably a half a dozen or more starting here on these as well. So we're excited about that. More peas climbing the trellis. Mint. That's another Katuk. So again, these are shade lovers. So I've got these on the patio because I wanted something that produced green leaves for smoothies and cooking, but that could take up some of the shady areas of the patio. The problem with the moringa and the peppers is they want the sun, and I have very limited sun on this patio. So this is, this collard's been around for a while. It's doing very, very well. Got some lemon balm there, or lemon basil. My daughter planted it. I'm not actually even sure what it is. Lemon something. Another big basil. This is a new one. This is peppermint. This is wonderful. I use this for teas. If you want to make a mocktail, take a little blueberry and a little bit of this peppermint, crush it up in the bottom of a glass, add some ice and some bubbly water, and it works really well. Got a rosemary here, and then there's peas and cucumbers climbing up the back rail as well. More collard greens back there. Moringa that's not doing anything, and I'll probably pull him at some point and put something else in there, maybe another spinach. But this is really exciting, guys. Check this out. So those mushrooms have been in my pantry. They're also coming up on the back side. You can't really see from here, but that part busted out. They hadn't really done anything. I was worried they weren't going to come up, but I got them online for like $5. I think it was $10 after shipping. And I'm really excited to have them. I believe they are black oysters, if I remember correctly. So either black or blue. So very excited about that. So that's the patio garden. I'm going to harvest a little bit of these greens, and I'll show you that here in a minute. All right, guys. So I'm back at the kitchen now, doing a little bit of harvesting, kind of cleaning things up. And one of the things about the patio garden is I wanted to produce some of the greens that we eat. So, I have a daughter and a wife who are plant-based. I'm probably 80% plant-based. I still like meat, and I like my happy hours, and I'm not afraid of a hamburger or some chicken wings. But I would say 80% of the time I'm eating plant-based, maybe even 90% depending on the week. But I wanted something that would produce some of our greens. I see patios and they have a ton of plants. The plants are useless, probably toxic to animals. They spend a lot of time and money on them, and to me that just didn't make sense. So I wanted to do something with the patio that looked nice but also was usable. And over the course of the last few months, as you've seen these different videos come out, we've been able to harvest a ton of things. I use the mustard greens in wraps all the time. I can, when I harvest, I'll probably get a dozen big leaves. I can cut them up. I use the big chunk for a wrap, and then I use the smaller pieces to cook up with potatoes, or add to, let's say, scrambled eggs or something in the morning, and put them in a smoothie. I mean, whatever you want to do with them. So we've gotten a lot out of that. The collard greens are fabulous. They're real, when they're young, they're real mild. They, my wife and daughter really enjoy them. They grow super easy. You can put them in any pot. You can put them around your other plants and they'll just come up about this big, and then you can just cut those out. And some of them, you see the one with the mint, it got fairly large, nice big. It's actually a pretty plant when it grows up like that. Seems to prefer the shadier areas, so keep it back out of the sun. So that's another good thing, because again, with patio gardening, oftentimes the not having enough sun's an issue. So the katuk and the Chinese spinach, the goal there is, again, to fill more of these shady areas, and I want something that'll produce larger greens. So the Malabar spinach is gone. The leaves were good. They weren't my favorite. My wife liked them. She used them in smoothies all the time. The problem is when the Malabar spinach decided it wanted to seed, that's all it did, and it did it for months. So I was constantly cutting them back. Now, I eat the seeds. I could put them into, because they're not hard. They're like a green, basically. I could put them in smoothies. I like that. My wife and daughter did not. So I had a ton of this stuff, and I was the only one using it. So I really decided it was too much work, not enough benefit. And so that's what hopefully the katuk and the Chinese spinach will replace. I want something that grows along the railing, so I'm hoping the Chinese spinach will do that. And I did order nasturtium. Nasturtiums are a vining plant. The leaves are edible, and the flowers are beautiful. They're great attractant for hummingbirds and pollinators, and they're beautiful. So I'm hoping that will fill up and cover up on some of that railing. And also be edible. So we very often in the mornings will go out on the patio and cut greens for our smoothies. I'll go out several times a week and cut greens to put into stir fry, to put into my breakfast, put into wraps. So we are using the patio garden. I guess maybe that's the message I wanted out of this part of the video, is to say we're really using it. We're getting a lot of greens. It's a good hobby, and I'm getting a lot of edible plants out of it. And so what I'll do now is I've harvested quite a bit of collard greens, and you saw this. You saw what was out there. This didn't even put a dent in it. These are sweet potato greens. I had a couple small sweet potatoes that I've since pulled. I'm going to go ahead and eat those, and I'm going to redo the sweet potatoes. These were actually cuttings from the old sweet potatoes that we pulled. We got a couple sweet potatoes out of the pot. We ate a ton of sweet potato leaves from those. But these cuttings don't seem to be doing as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the organic grocery store and pick up a couple of Asian sweet potatoes, put those in water, and start new shoots. These will end up being breakfast or dinner. So I wash these up. I'll put them into the refrigerator. They'll last several days, especially collards and sweet potatoes. I like those because they last. Some of these greens don't. These do. The sunflower shoots that I grow, they don't last more than a few days. 2 or 3 maybe. These will last longer. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest these up. Then I've got to do some watering. Reuse everything you can. Laundry soap. Thoroughly washed many times. Drilled some holes in the cap. That's what I use for watering. Otherwise, a lot of trips up the stairs. Not that that's not good exercise, but I'm going to get back to work. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the patio. And again, hello to my new friend from Eco Farms. It was great to talk to you today. It was great to see you excited about some planting, and hopefully I gave you some great ideas, and hopefully some of the upcoming videos. Watch for the foraging videos. We did get out a couple times, and I've got some videos coming, and did a little bit of foraging, but there's some good greens in that for you. So see you out in the woods. Remember, get outside, do something wild.